Trick Williams, welcome to Busted Open After Dark.
Yo, what's up, Bully? Happy to be here.
I'm very happy to have you on. I'm very happy for personal reasons. I'm very happy for professional reasons. I think we should definitely be speaking with the world champion, especially coming out of what has gone on with you during the past couple of months, but especially what you faced tonight. And we're definitely gonna get to Oba, but let's go back just a little while for the diehard Trick fans who saw you in the ECW arena for the first time. So I'm Bully Ray tonight, but you tagged with Bubba Ray Dudley.
Hey, I was wondering if I could say, what's up, Bubba?
This is the WWE. I'm Bubba Ray Dudley now.
Okay.
So I got to ask this question because this is a question that somebody would normally ask you. So I know, what was it like to wrestle in the ECW arena? What was it like to tag with somebody like Bubba Ray Dudley, that setting, that type of match, the whole 9 yards?
Man, Bubba, I ain't gonna lie to you. It was an honor. It was a privilege, to tag along your side, learn firsthand, the poise, the control, the confidence that you had. And I'm not sure, when was the last time you was in the ring?
It was a while.
Man, I
was breathing heavy. Thank God I had you there.
Hey, but man, I promise you couldn't tell one bit because you walked out with so much swag and confidence. I'm like, man, you got the people in his hands right now.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
For sure. But man, it was historic. Man, any wrestler who loves his business would have loved to say they can have that moment that I had. So I'm grateful for that.
Well, I'm glad we got to have that together. I was just as excited to share the ring with you as you were with me. But things didn't exactly go our way that night. They kind of did, but they kind of didn't. Like, Rich Holland, out of nowhere, was able to slide in, roll you up, and get the 1, 2, 3. Can you take me back to the minute you realized you got pinned in that match and what was going through your head?
Man, right after the bell rung, man, I came in, I threw a knee. I might have been a little bit out of control, a little bit overconfident, a little bit hyped up by the people of Philadelphia. And, maybe I didn't respect Ridge's game like I should have because, he pinned me up for the 1, 2, 3. And, but I hate it happened, but I'm glad it happened because it lit that fire that I needed for last Saturday.
So you really felt like that moment in time lit that fire under your ass?
Absolutely. I mean, as a champion, I should not be getting pinned. I represent the brand. Me holding this title right here means that I'm the best that NXT has to offer. Being pinned is unacceptable.
Wow. That is brutally honest and extremely introspective. And when a veteran like me hears that, like, I'm happy to hear that because it's almost like acknowledging a brief moment in time as a weakness and learning from it. And it seems like you really did.
Yes.
Later on that night, Ethan Page got in our face. We were able to put him through a table. And that's really not the important part. The important part is it seems like from that moment on, Ethan Page has been on a bit of a downward spiral.
For sure.
Here in NXT. And like tonight, he loses to Tony D'Angelo. Ethan said he basically didn't want a shot at the North American Championship, which I thought was extremely disrespectful.
I agree.
Extremely.
Yeah.
If you're a champion here, if there's a championship to be won, you want to win it.
For sure.
Because if you become the North American champion, he puts him in line for you.
Right.
So he loses to D'Angelo. We saw him at the end of the night. He looked completely dejected, right? And he basically says that he needs to find himself. He's lost and he's ashamed. As a professional, how do you feel about being the catalyst or helping to be the catalyst to put another wrestler in that position where they feel lost or ashamed?
I'm going to be honest with you. That's not my concern because when he did the same to me, when he found his way in NXT and, smuggled his way into an NXT championship and literally fell on another man for the cover, he rocked this title with pride. For 2 months, he didn't worry about what that did to me, and he knew he didn't deserve that title, but he wore it with pride. And, so now here he is lost. I say every man should be lost. You're not a man until you get out of a situation where you have to really dig deep and find out, what your character really is about. And I've been to that place multiple times.
Did you learn that growing up? Did you learn that on the football field? Did you learn that here in NXT?
Man, it's like a reoccurring theme in my life. And it almost getting to the point now, Bubba, where when adversity hits, I get excited. Like, that's when I know the blessings coming. That's when I know I'm being tested as a man. And I learned something through all of this. You know what I mean? Like, man, I've been through things. I've been doubted my whole life. That's what the whole thing was about tonight, being doubted. People count me out. Look, and NXT always says, oh, college football star. Bubba, I walked on to the University of South Carolina. I wasn't invited. They didn't want me there. That was my dream. I went and took it. I went and got it. I made it happen. Then I made it to the league just to get cut again. People don't know, man, I played football for 20 years to get cut.
Wow.
And to find an opportunity.
You played for 20 years.
I played football for 20 years.
Just to get cut.
Just to get cut. Just to make it. That was the dream, to make it to the NFL. I'm not going to lie to you. And I got cut. Ass out. What am I going to do next? I was graced with this opportunity to become a WWE superstar. And it wasn't given to me. I went to the trial and they said, go learn how to wrestle. I went and learned how to wrestle. I moved in with my uncle. I was in the hood in Philly.
I know when we were driving right before, we were in the car together right before the ECW show, and you told me that you had wrestled in CZW, and I was like, wait, time out. What?
Yes.
I didn't realize that that's where you came up.
Yes, first match with DJ Hyde. We wrestled on bloody mats every single day.
Wow.
Every single day. And I worked all throughout the day. I was up 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll stay at my friend's house. I'll sleep at his couch. I'll come train at CZW. If you know anything about DJ, he's going to talk for 3-4 hours.
Okay.
And so, we got some work in, but we talking. I'm up, probably get to the crib 12 o'clock at night. I'm getting 3-4 hours of sleep.
Right. You're paying your dues.
I'm paying my dues.
And
that's what a man has to do.
So I'm going to just get to this part of our chat real quick. There's a different look in your eye right now. And I saw a considerably different look in your eye tonight with Oba Femi.
Yeah.
And I think this is the look that I have been talking about for a long time. You hear me on Busted Open. I've put you over to the moon, but I've also addressed some of my concerns for you. And my concerns come from the heart in the best interest of you and your future, and you get it. But this look right now is completely different.
Yeah.
Is there a why that there's more of this killer look behind you right now?
Yes, because I'm sick of being disrespected. You know what I mean? I came into this business and they tell me shake everybody's hand. They tell me pay your dues. They tell me show respect. And then the minute you shake everybody's hand, the minute you nice and you got a smile on your face, they think that you soft and they can walk straight over you. Like, don't get it twisted, man. I'm a grown-ass man. And I've been through a lot to get here. And people don't respect my journey, and I don't understand that. But I have no problem lining up against any man and showing them what I'm about. Win, lose, or draw, it's not about that. I'm going to stand up for what I believe.
If Mark Henry was here right now, he'd be standing up, popping, giving you a round of applause for the grown-ass man, because he firmly believes in that, like, you need to grow up in the wrestling business and become a grown-ass man. Let me ask you this. Did you feel like this different look in your eye, this different feeling, this different demeanor, did this happen after your match with Ridge, or when you found out that Oba Femi was the new #1 contender?
Shoot. It's something I've been feeling for a little minute. Maybe since Ridge pinned me. Maybe since, as a champion, I feel like, look at the greats that came in before me. There's a rapport that came with this NXT title. It meant something. And people was treated with respect. And, now I have to look at myself, Bubba. I got to be real. Do I carry this title the way it should be carried? You know what I mean? Because when Tommaso Ciampa walked around, we respected Tommaso Ciampa.
Okay.
And he held it with pride. And I believed. I said, that's the NXT champion right there. And before I even knew everything that I knew now about the business, when I was out of line, Tommaso Ciampa, he was a champ. He pulled me to the side and he told me the right way to handle business. And I respected him as a champion. And I want to do the same thing for everybody else that comes behind me. I want to hold this the way I need to. I need to be that leader. I need to be that person that tells you what's right and what's wrong. And when it comes to representing this brand.
When it comes to the doubters that you've talked about, why do you think you still have your doubters?
I think it's human nature. I mean, it's no story if there ain't no doubt. I mean, it's human nature. If you got to overcome something, and the minute you ain't overcome nothing, you become Tom Brady, and that's why we don't like him.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Trick Williams is the Tom Brady of NXT.
Nah, I ain't saying that. Nah, I ain't saying that. But that's real though. I mean, and I'm coming to a place now where, you know, I accept the doubt. I love the doubt because it gives me, you know, that fire that you get. Like sometimes it's hard to get out the bed with that purpose unless somebody says something.
Trick, me and Devon didn't look like the Road Warriors. We weren't pretty like Ricky and Robert. Mm-hmm. We were a goofy set of brothers. We weren't body guys, and nobody thought we were going to make it. So everything that you're saying right now, dude, we felt every single day. So I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. But it pushes you. I mean, without that doubt, if I don't walk on, if I am that 5-star, highly recruited athlete, maybe I'm a little privileged. Maybe I think that I deserve everything that I get. Man, look, man, I got a walk-on mentality, and I can't help it, man. Like, I feel like I got to prove myself every single day. So that means, hey, I can't smile as much. The smile is gone.
You lost your smile just like the guy that's running this joint, and when he lost his smile and came back, he came back better than ever. Your next opponent in line is probably the most physically intimidating guy I think you've ever been in the ring with.
I agree.
I said earlier in the show, you're deceivingly big. Mm-hmm. You're a big bastard. Mm-hmm. And how did I remember standing face to face with you that first time and like, holy shit, Trick is big. And then to see you tonight standing eye to eye with Oba Femi, mm-hmm. And the way you circled him at first, mm-hmm. I was like, oh boy, there is some tension between these two. Mm-hmm. How is Oba, other than his physical stature, what type of challenges does Oba present to you? And how is he different from everybody that has stepped up to you in the past?
Man, Oba is different. I mean, when he speaks, you can tell he believes every word he says. I mean, you know, and I respect that. And I know I need to be on top of my game when I'm facing Oba. I mean, you can see it in the way he walks, man. I mean, we're not blind. Oba, he's the ruler for a reason.
And you just said, like, when he speaks, he believes it. He looked at you and said he was going to beat you easily.
That's what he said.
That word, like that word hit me right between the eyes. I'm like, wait a minute. He didn't just say that he's going to beat Trick. He said he's going to beat him
easily.
That's
what he said. That
right there had to really resonate with you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to a lesser man who hasn't heard those words before, I might have been shook. You know, if I haven't been told these type of things my whole life, then maybe I would have been shook. But that doesn't shake me. He's supposed to think. He's supposed to think that. He's supposed to feel like that. But guess what? I feel the same way. If Oba thinks he's going to take this title off of me, he's going to have to die for it. Because I'm not laying down. So he's going to go to a place he's never been. I ain't facing Oba. Oba facing me.
Wow. Love it. I love it. Oba is facing me. Man, that's the right attitude, man. That is definitely the right attitude. One more question. I want to talk about Eddie Thorpe. Eddie Thorpe got involved. He was bitching, moaning, and complaining. Oba had left the ring, and it's just you and Eddie Thorpe. And you decided to give Eddie Thorpe a match, I believe, for next week, correct?
Next week.
I'm not going to ask you do you think that's a smart idea, but why would you give Eddie Thorpe a shot at you before New Year's Evil in Los Angeles and your match against Oba Femi?
Honestly, because I was tired of him talking. I mean, we passed this point of talking. I mean, I'll show him. I'm a man of action. He was talking too much. I dropped him. I said, I'll see you next week.
You dropped right on the chin. You laid that shot too.
Yeah, he felt it.
He definitely did.
Yeah, he felt it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, thank you for joining me tonight. I know that you've had a long day, a long night so far. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me and talk to me. Obviously, talking to the Busted Open Nation and let them know what's going on. Any last words from you to your doubters?
Watch me. It's that simple. I'm a man of action.